Good morning, good people. Today is Thursday, the 19th of March, 2026. My name is Edward Bevilacqua. Here we are, Department of Career Services, where our goal is to help our students and other interested people on their journey through this life. Got a little bit of a late start today, not because I wasn't prepared, but because I had too much time. And so I started updating my bark. That's my old one. Here's my new one of what I do, what I'm interested in doing, my daily, weekly planning type. What are my priorities? And so I don't get spread too thin like I have been cautioned about. Not doing anything, which kind of segues into our theme for today, which is concentrate like a Roman. This is the Daily Stoic short video down below. Concentrate like a Roman. Marcus Aurelius, which for them was as if it's the last thing you're going to do or the last time you are going to do this thing. Concentrate like a Roman. And I think I might put a little post-it. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Put a little post-it on the top of my computer screen. Concentrate like a Roman. Boom. Concentrate like a Roman. Okay. As if it's the last time you're going to do it or the last time you're going to do anything. Don't do it halfway, sort of, whatever. All right. Well, so this is day 4 of week 4 of our 4-week neuroscience-oriented approach to success. That's week 3. And the soliloquy. And if there's Nancy King. Okay, so day 4 of week 4 of our neuroscience-oriented approach to success. All right. Last night we had the third day of this workshop at the library. So that was good. And we went to Roberto's for tacos. That was kind of good. Good on you. Yeah, we can't really do the meal first because we're 4:30 to 5:30 at the library. Okay, well, anywho, yeah. So look at our theme of today is concentrate like a Roman. Let's go to our worksheet, which you can find down below or on our webpage or on Facebook or on X. Advice from an 80-year-old. Become the most positive and enthusiastic person you know. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. So on the one hand, it's concentrate like a Roman, and the other one is be the most enthusiastic person you know. Okay, good. Bunk. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I've got a really big day today. Big day. Very big day. So, and uncertainty because I have certain dates I have to get things done, but I'm not sure what they are. But who cares about that? Our focus is this, where we are right now. Concentrate like a Roman. Okay, so let's look at what Seth Godin has to say. Freedom of focus. Is there some kind of theme here? Tonight, when you're off the clock, what will you listen to, watch, or read? I imagine that most of us would agree that this is a free choice. To watch a silly video on YouTube, read a book on Greek philosophy from the library, or scroll your feeds, we have time, surprisingly called free, and we allocate it to focus our attention on something. While it might seem like a free choice, well-paid people and powerful forces are working to shift our focus. Many systems are built to manipulate us without focusing on things that benefit them, not us. Many systems are built to manipulate us into focusing on things that benefit them, not us. If you've ever felt lousy after doom scrolling, you might question how free your time actually is. It takes effort to regain our freedom of focus. We take this one step further. Not only make choices about the media we consume, we also make choices about our internal focus. Until you got to this sentence, I'm guessing you weren't spending much time thinking about your high school graduation. Now I am. We don't need research to show us that the internal narration we focus on shift our attitude and soon become our reality. We've all experienced it. Soon after we stop the broken record, things get better. Perhaps it's not a free choice, though. Perhaps the stories we relentlessly focus on are simply the byproduct of our brain's chemical reactions, a reaction to the world inside us and around us. And yet, many people have learned to shift the stories they rehearse. The first step, change the external focus. Change the people we interact with, the media we consume, the attention we offer. Not all at once, but as a habit, a persistent practice of being mindful about the triggers and amplifiers we consume. If you're not happy with what your attention is bringing you, you can change it. Aristotle said that we become what we do, but before we do, we focus. Concentrate like a Roman, and the freedom and responsibility of that focus belongs to us. Be the most enthusiastic person you know. Okay, so these couple things were really, really good. Too bad I can't go back to the beginning of the video and talk about those. Too bad I can't do that. Right. This is where Dave Preston gets nervous. Dead air. Nothing going on. Okay, so let's talk about this. Day 3. Day 4. Day 4, week 4. Week 4 is about leading people on the journey. The adventure is afoot. Not 2 words. It's afoot, not a foot. The adventure is not a foot. It's afoot. Bonk. The adventure is afoot. So now we need to keep going down that thing, not get diverted, not get change the adventure, let somebody hijack our adventure, crash upon the rocks, etc., etc. The journey is afoot. So what does that mean? Okay. Keeping going. That's what this week is about. How do we do that when we have all of these things going on, pulling us different directions? We have the external stuff, the crises, the everyday things that bog us down. We have the people challenges. How do we keep moving forward? That is what this week is about. Monday, we did crisis leadership, how you handle people and things when everything is going to hell. Tuesday was you have the ultimate power to do anything you want, pure leadership, no restraints except those you put upon yourself. Yesterday, we started looking at practical leadership, and we started focusing on a person. And the idea is to emulate somebody who's done it, use them as a mentor, use them as a guide. And so we have selected Ignatius of Loyola. Why? Well, because Ignatius is a man after our own heart when we go back and focus on these two words here, state pen. This program was designed for people who were in prison and just out of prison. So what better mentor than somebody who'd been incarcerated before, somebody who had run-ins with the law, somebody who felt they were above the law and the rules were for other people. They're just suggestions to me. How do we deal with that, right? So that's the idea. Right, yeah. So Ignatius of Loyola. So we learned a little bit about him yesterday in a very high level. Today we're going to drill down on his life and the organization he created. And the idea is this. If Ignatius could do what he did, if he could accomplish what he accomplished based upon he started here, here's how his life went, boom, it went down, and then he climbed his way up and then has become, I would say probably one of the top 50 most influential people in the history of the world. In other words, if he was not born, what would the world look like? Would it be different? And I would say, yes, it would be very different. So Ignatius is somebody we're looking at because people coming out of prison, actual prison jail, can relate to him. He can be a mentor. He can act as a mentor for people who have experienced that type of life. That's why we have him. And we can conclude by saying, if he could accomplish all of that, we can do something. We can do something. If that's what he was able to accomplish, if we use him as a mentor, we can accomplish something. We won't be in a situation as Abraham Lincoln's father told him, you're never going to be anybody. We are just hard scrabble people. Stop trying to be something you're not. Unfortunately, Abraham Lincoln didn't like his father, so the advice the father gave him, Abraham Lincoln went the opposite direction. He went the other way. Right. Cool. So, now what? All righty then. Next. Okay. So, now what? Okay, well, what did he do? Well, he followed the week 3 format, and he and his guys created the Society of Jesus, or the Company of Jesus. So join tribe, nudge forward. David Logan, first step. Join tribe, nudge forward. So ultimately, Ignatius has gotten through his learning Latin. He's now in college, Salamanca. That's the other one that starts with an A. University in Spain is too small, too backward thinking. I'm going to France. I'm going to the University of Paris, where he meets two other Spaniards, Peter Faber and Francis Xavier. He meets them, and they have this little micro tribe of 3 guys, roommates, and he starts sharing what he knows, and he pulls them in. And they were a tribe in the sense of they're guys from families that have money, but they are not going to inherit. So they're somewhere down the line in terms of birth order. So perhaps they were going to be priests, but they came from similar backgrounds, part of that kind of tribe. They're this part of this bigger tribe, well-to-do families where their sons aren't going to inherit. Maybe that's the tribe who are in university, much younger than him. And they then do step 2, tell a compelling story, why we need to change the status quo. Let's do a life of adventure in this other way. And that idea attracts other people. So Ignatius goes from being a lone nut to a leader of 2 other guys, and then they pull in others. So there's about 10 of them by the time they graduate and want to move forward. And they're all part of this tribe. Then what? They decide they're going to stick together and do stuff. So now it's the how and what of it. And that changed as well. From going to the Middle East to now we're working with nuns. We're working in hospitals with prostitutes, etc., and the poor, and then educating people. And then that drew the attention of a lot of other guys who were like that. Their tribe became very large, and then they went out and they did the same thing. And the advantage is they were smart guys, for the most part, smart, well-educated, and they had passion for what they were doing. So compared to the people they met with, they were a cut above. Does that mean they were the smartest? No. Some of them were, but they had a plan, they had a mission, they were part of a group, part of a brotherhood, rock and roll quotes. And so we just have to emulate what he did. So today's video is very important because you can look at it and say, okay, so what do I need to do? And it can either be join a tribe and then kind of go this way like Loyola did, where he took Xavier and Faber away from the path they were on at the University of Paris and moved them over to this other path. Or get on board, hitch your wagon to something that's already good. So ponder that. Riddle me this, riddle me that. What is it that you can do? And I would say, get ready to take a look at this. And with that, though, we are almost out of time. It's Thursday. Tomorrow you'll see me, not shaggy dog, haircut, ready to move forward. And with that, we will say, and cut. Boom.